I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, to let them in, talk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, they're not the...
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Start on the Blocks. Hey, Arjuno, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Thanks for coming on tonight. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. Thanks for inviting me.
All righty. We'll get started. I'll talk about Start Up on the Blocks a little bit, and so people can understand, and maybe you can probably check out a few of the things we're up to as well. Yeah, so we host this weekly event, and we've been doing it since August 2020, and we're here to help startups, founders move forward and take advantage of some of this funding that's been set aside and training programs that's been set aside for founders. Yep. So the big news is next week we have a pitch competition. This will be our third pitch competition, and we got 2 categories for portfolio companies and also for our non-portfolio companies. And we'll be giving first and second prizes in both categories. So it's money and freebies. Yeah. So the main thing about Startup on the Blocks, want to clear up any confusion about it. So Adruno, we basically have a playbook here, and these are the kind of things we recommend and strongly suggest that if you're serious about being a founder, you definitely follow this playbook. And the first thing is you kind of have to get in that founder's mindset. So Sam Altman, formerly with Y Combinator, he talks at that link a lot about that founder's mindset and really what being a founder is all about. The second thing is following this Lean Startup methodology. That website, leanstack.com, one of the links on there is for the Lean Canvas, so you can kind of understand that. But Ash Murray, he actually came up with the Lean Startup methodology, and so that's his website, and to learn about that. The number 3 thing is also from Y Combinator, the Startup School. It's a free online school that you can register and kind of learn, go through the learning of being a founder. Because you do have to learn how to learn this stuff. You don't automatically know it, and you don't really want to leave anything out from that. And then the next thing we have is this, creating a profile in these founders sites. So like I'll show you this one in a minute. F6S.com. It's a site for founders, and and you can create your profile in there, and then you can also see all the opportunities that are available. But I'll show you that a little bit more in a few minutes. And then we have our weekly events. We recommend all the founders participate in our weekly events, so you can network with other founders, other folks that like you are doing a journal that are doing offer services to our founders in here in the ecosystem. And the last thing is just leveraging all the resources that are in the startup and entrepreneur ecosystem. We list some of them in our newsletters, but there's tons more. And so before I go, so I wanted to mention, give a shout out to all the semifinalists that applied for our pitch competition. It was I think we had about 26 applications that actually went through completed the applications, and then we down selected to our finalists from our portfolio companies and also from a non-portfolio company. So we're looking forward to having these folks pitch next week. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So so here's the example of the startup mindset. Sam Alton, this website he's got a lot of audio and descriptions of what you need to know as a founder. And Lean Stack, this is the website Lean Stack, and it's got the Lean Startup methodology here on it. The Startup School, enroll in that, and it's actually a community, so it's definitely good to get involved with that. F-Success, there's $2.7 million in free deals and for startup founders. So you have to build your profile in order to be eligible to get but that's a simple thing. It's just keeping your profile, your personal profile, and your business profile, your startup profile, and it's a simple thing to do. And when I say free, freebies like I've received like $30,000 in just service from Amazon just by having my profile updated on the site. And so definitely a lot of programs are listed. You can apply for a lot of programs that are listed on this site as well. And so our weekly events, if you go to events.Kukua Institute.org, it'll direct you to this site. And so as you can see, we've had like between our Bantucola network and Startup on the Box, we've had 94 events since we got started on Hopin. So we've been out here a long time, actually trying to serve the community and help people get ready for these opportunities. And the newsletter, I regrouped it a little bit this in this last one to kind of put the playbook up front. So so I'm not sure. So I wanted to make sure people could actually. Juno, are you saying everything okay and hear me okay? I just got a message from Brazil.
I can see everything.
Okay, good. All righty. So as you see, I start off with this. I guess first I make sure have the link for the next event and who the speakers are and everything. And then the previous event, I always have a link to the video for that and any material that they shared. And on this one, I was sharing the finalists for the pitch competition as well. And then I put a playbook here just so there's no confusion about, what you need to do if you want to take advantage of all these funding resources and all these training things. And then I have a section in here of funding opportunities for all founders, and then for veterans, founders of color, and all the different groups, and then also have even some stuff in here for nonprofits, and then there are some communities and sites that you should be familiar with, so you can actually become known in the startup ecosystem. and then some upcoming events and past events. And one thing I recommend is always trying to find different pitch events like on Hop and other platforms and see how people pitch their ideas and companies and win money to support their stuff. And so that's basically it. And so I just wanted to kind of make sure people understand what the opportunity really is. Hopefully that gives you a little bit better understanding, Arjuno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so one of the poll questions I had tonight, so were you familiar with kind of what our playbook is and what our strategy is on Startup on the Blocks?
I've seen like an overview, but I haven't gone in depth as to what your strategy is.
Okay. All righty. So we're excited to have you on. So why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourself and make sure you tell us how to pronounce your first name correctly.
Yeah. My name is Arjuna Coles. I'm a web
Okay.
designer and a brand strategist. Right now I'm working at the Spring Entrepreneur Hub at their co-working space, and I assist with the entrepreneurs there, and I help them with their design and their website and some of their marketing materials as well. I like to emphasize a user-focused approach to web design and just design in general, and making sure that when we are designing something, we're designing for our customers, not just for ourselves.
Saying you actually work with some of the startups that come through the Spring. You actually help them out with some of their stuff with some of the programs going on.
So we have our mentorship program at the Spring, the MS program, which you're a mentor for. And I'll help them with scheduling, and my supervisor, Gracie, and I will work with just connecting them with different entrepreneurs to get them set up. But we also have our intake calls as well, where if you are an entrepreneur and you need help with anything, and all of our services are free for entrepreneurs, you can go on our website, thespringpensacola.com, and you can submit an intake call or an intake form, and either I or my supervisor, Gracie, will talk with you, and we could run through your top needs as a business and get you connected with whatever that may be.
Yes, and I appreciate you covering that a little bit there, but I almost thought I heard you say earlier that the entrepreneurs at the Spring, I almost thought I heard you say you actually help them with their design work and stuff like that.
As far as what we do offer a brand strategy workshop, and I've worked with one member of the co-working space. We held that, and I just help them with just outlining just some of their core values, identifying their target user, just for like marketing purposes and setting goals. So if you are a member of the co-working space, or if you're looking to join, we do offer that workshop, and you'll be able to run that with me. So that's just another perk to going to the Spring.
Yeah. So, but I guess here tonight you're representing your own services outside of the Spring, and so tell us a little bit about your. Well, I guess I'll back up a little bit. So, how did you get interested in design, and stuff like that? What's your journey on that?
So my journey, I went to college for about a year. I didn't finish, and I studied studio art. It was my dream to be an animator. Really, I wasn't focused on design at that time, but I left school and I started working, wasn't drawing as much. And I realized that the community of designers and artists was one that I liked to be a part of. And that kind of got me down the rabbit hole of design, and specifically the business of design, and focusing on design that converts and design that speaks to a customer. And I'm a big proponent of whatever you do, whatever you design, it should be solely focused on your target user and solving their needs, understanding their pain points, and really structuring your business and your design around those needs and pain points.
A design that converts. You're saying that you put up a website or whatever to kind of help market your idea, but you also want to make it work for you to bring customers in. And so is that what you mean? The design that works?
Yeah, it should speak to your customer, whether that's with the copy, with the words that you put on it, the colors or the imagery. you take into account who the person that you're targeting is. And I'll go into that in a little bit of detail here. But it's about understanding who your core customer is, who you want to target, and basing your color scheme, imagery, how your content and everything sounds to them.
Yeah. So you didn't go to college for this, so but how did you hone your skills for this design and also brand stuff?
One resource that I use is a website and a YouTube channel called The Future.
The future.
It's spelled
Mm-hmm.
Futur. Chris Do is the one who started it. I believe he spoke at Entrecon
Okay.
the other year. Their whole YouTube channel is solely based off the business of design. They go through some practical stuff as to how you can design, but it's not really focused on that. It's about how designers can create a business that, you know, gets them more money, but also solves their clients' problems better. So it's through watching a lot of their videos, going through their courses. I worked at a digital marketing agency before working at the Spring, and that definitely helped me a lot in understanding, okay, you know, marketing for a user, designing for a user, and really trying to get into your customer's head and understand them.
Customers you all work with at that marketing company?
So at that marketing agency, we worked with a lot of orthodontists.
Okay.
So we would work with them to kind of understand their patients. And when it comes to orthodontics, it's the marketing tactic that we use is very emotional because they're trying to get people in the door so they can work on their mouth and give them the smile of their dreams. And you kind of connect that and you craft your messaging around, you know, feel confident, have the smile of your dreams, kind of like feel better about yourself, improve your quality of life. So we really push everything, not on the technicalities of orthodontics, how it all works and what your procedure is going to be like, but how you're going to feel after that and the confidence that you'll get. So we worked with a lot of orthodontists and we tried to craft and hone that message, particularly for each practice.
You know, our audience out here are, you know, are founders and small business owners, and so what's been your impression since you've been working at the Spring of the founders and their ability to you know, communicate, you know, have good websites and stuff like that. So what's your general thoughts on that?
My general thoughts are, I think it's always good if you're a founder to have somebody with a different perspective regarding web design or design in general, just to take a look at your website. It can be very easy when we're the ones who started our business or founded it to assume what's appealing to others, especially to our customers. But oftentimes what we like and what we think works for them may not always work with them as far as design goes. So I think a lot of founders could benefit from maybe speaking with other designers, just getting their opinion, having them take a look at their website. And I think overall, there's some things that we can do in our community to build better websites, build better landing pages, some real practical things that I'll talk about shortly.
Have you, and this is kind of what I'm striving for here in Pensacola and Northwest Florida, that sense of community. So do you think we're making progress in down at the Spring as far as kind of establishing a community of founders? My opinion is I still think we got a long ways to go, but what have you seen?
I think we're making progress. I think we're definitely making progress. And really, before working at the Spring, I started about 6 months ago, I was not really aware of the community. And I think that does say something. I think that more people need to be aware of how really robust the Pensacola community is for entrepreneurs. And people come in every day and they just don't really know that fact. I mean, you told me a lot about startups in the blogs and everything that's going on, and really without talking to you, I wouldn't have known. Without going to the Spring, I wouldn't have known. So I think we need to kind of push for informing the people of Pensacola that if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, there are resources and there's a community out here.
And so we're going to try to up our game a little bit here with Startup on the Blocks and focus a little bit more on the community, of Black and Brown founders, because there's so many opportunities out there, and it's a shame, if they go to waste, I mean, it's just my inbox get flooded with opportunities for founders and founders of color. And it's, when I see they announce who gets selected or who wins, and when you don't see people from Pensacola or Northwest Florida in those lists, and it's kind of disheartening. But I think it's the opportunity as well to actually try to make people aware of these opportunities. But I think people have to say, well, I want to be a part of the community. I want to get involved. I can't be out there by myself. And because the longer you stay out there by yourself, the further you actually get behind, I believe.
Yeah. Really, the biggest thing that helped me as far as learning about design or just like business and freelancing was knowing other freelancers, knowing other designers. You'll learn way more there than just trying to do it all on your own. It really kind of tests what you know.
Yeah. So if you're a founder, you need to identify other founders in the community and kind of talk to them and network with them, and just because you learn so much and just so many opportunities out there without being connected to other founders, you kind of miss out on those things. So I could beat that. I love talking about opportunities. I love talking about my whole career was based on leveraging and resources, and so it's just all about conversation and talking to people, and if you know what somebody else is doing and you know what you're doing, you can kind of tie things together, and try to move forward. And I think we have a great opportunity, here with, even with Startup on the Blocks and with the networking from 6 to 7, it's hard for me to communicate the opportunity to meet people and share, and so you can kind of move forward. But I guess it's kind of a way you just have to evolve to actually understanding the significance of that networking and the value of it, and to be able to connect with others, to learn about opportunities, and so most of the things I learned about was through networking, and when people know you, they can actually refer you. So if they don't know you, they can't refer you. So if I know a founder that's working on a waste management or disposal system, if I know that person is working on that, and other founders know a person is working on that, whenever they see an opportunity related to that, they can actually share it. But if the founder doesn't get involved in the networking, then and get involved in the community, they're gonna struggle.
Yeah, and I think some people, they get nervous, or at least I felt this way when it comes to networking or meeting people, thinking, okay, I have to be ready to have everything all together and like present or whatever. And really, if you focus on just building a meaningful relationship and making friends with that person, eventually your name's going to come up. They're going to know somebody who you might be able to work with. And if you just focus on actually want to get to know
yes,
before trying to sell yourself.
Yes. All right. Well, I like talking about that kind of stuff, but I think I'll let you go into your presentation. For those in the audience, I'll put Arduino's information, that contact information, so that's there, and you can put your questions in the stage chat or either in the question and answers. Those out on Facebook, they can just put their comments in the Startup on the Blocks page in the comment section. Go.
All right.
Go. I'll wait till you get your screen shared and let you get rolling there.
All right. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about creating a high converting landing page for your business. So if you're running a marketing campaign, or if you're just getting out there and you want to share something about your product, this will definitely be beneficial for you. So I want to delve into a landing page. There could be some confusion about a landing page and a website, And in digital marketing, a landing page is a standalone web page created specifically for a marketing or advertising campaign. So this page is really tailored solely around your one single offer or your product that you're really trying to push and get out there. And unlike web pages, which typically have a lot of goals, encourage exploration, and just give a lot of information, a landing page is focused on a single focus or goal that you want your customers to really hone into, or your prospects. This focus makes landing pages a great option for increasing conversion rates of your marketing campaign, and just getting people maybe to sign up for your newsletter, to be more aware of you. Users typically, if they see a lot of options, they're going to get distracted and they're going to kind of veer off. Or if you can't keep their attention, you're not really going to be able to hold. If you can't keep their attention, they're going to forget about you pretty quickly. So a landing page kind of just helps you stay focused and stay on track. Before we really delve into landing pages, I want to talk about really the true foundation of a landing page and of design in general. And I touched on this a little bit, focusing on your user, your target customer, and that's user profiles. And really, this is the foundation of your landing page. So a user profile, before you begin designing anything, you want to build a user profile and go through this exercise that I'll show you in a few moments. So a user profile is just a collection of important information associated with your target customer. It's created so that you can better understand your user's needs, their story, their pain points. You can just get a better picture of who they are and what you're trying to do for that person. Your target users are going to drive your value proposition. So whatever it is that you're offering, whatever value that you want to communicate, putting into perspective who this is for is really going to help you kind of align more what that could be. So some key elements of a user profile. A user profile is designed to kind of create a narrative around a person, around a product. And some of those important aspects of it are their demographics. So these are their basic facts about your user. Where are they from? How old are they? What is their gender? These are those things that don't really change necessarily as far as just like the facts about that person. The next is their story. So this is psychographic info, so like their personality, values, attitudes, and how they came to be in need of your product or services. The next element is needs. So understanding what is it that your customer really needs? What are they actually looking for? And solutions is, okay, how does your product meet those needs? What kind of solutions do you provide to that customer? Here's an example of a user persona that I did. I was working with a designer and helping him with his consulting business. So what we do is we go through each column. We just make up a person. We make up a name and we give them a user type. So this is the aspiring freelancer. What he does is he offers coaching and consulting to freelance graphic designers who are looking to kind of up their business, start charging more, or are feeling a little bit stuck. And he does this through a coaching program. So demographics, we just kind of went through some basic high-level information. This information can be based off of what you already know about your customers, or it could be some kind of like aspirational information. Like, this is what I want my target user to be. I want them to be this age. I want their story to be something similar to this. Or like I said, this could be somebody that you know and you base it off of them. Story, we kind of go through just like where he was, where he's been at. In this example, he studied graphic design. He works at a small agency, but he wants to be independent. He wants to start freelancing, but he's feeling kind of stuck and doesn't know how to get there. And some needs, we kind of focus on emotional, but also practical needs. So clarity, he wants to get clear on next steps, a custom framework, motivation and encouragement, independence, and some solutions that we came up with Ethan, the designer. But I went coaching calls, a group coaching program, system and framework. So we kind of connected. You can go straight from needs to solutions, but understanding the story and the background really helps you kind of put into perspective who this person is. So now that you kind of have like an idea of, your target user, and you understand what the kind of like their goals and their aspirations are, you can start going into building your landing page. And here are some key elements I believe every landing page needs. One of those is a very clear value proposition. The first thing that a user should see when they land on your web page is your value proposition. If they don't know what's in it for them, immediately they're going to leave. I think users spend maybe like 10 seconds or maybe 30 seconds at most. You can look up the data and see, but it's not long. And if you can't get these people hooked right off the bat, you've already lost them and you're not going to be able to convert them. So right away, they need to see. And I'll go through some examples of landing pages so you can take a look at that. The next thing that you're going to need is a strong call to action. So your call to action, or CTA for short, is the single action you want a user to take. So landing pages are all about focus. And one thing you want to avoid is giving people too many options or unclear direction as far as what you want them to do. If you want them to book an appointment, say you're an orthodontist, we have a lot of people, their main thing, they want to book an appointment and just get people in the door. Well, you wouldn't put a sign-up form for your email newsletter then if you're trying to get people to come into the door. So landing pages, they need to be clear, they need to be concise and consistent, or call to actions need to be clear, concise, and consistent. And really just focus in, what is the one action that I need this person to do to get them to convert? And this depends on the needs of your landing page and what you really are seeking to do with your business. A clear focus is an essential aspect of a landing page. Any unnecessary information, you should just omit. If it doesn't pertain to your marketing campaign, if it doesn't pertain to your product or service, it's best if you just leave that out. This could be some just like backstory or information about your business that isn't crucial at the time. Keep that information for your main website, and then people can go and they can reference it there. But on your landing page, it shouldn't be there. A big thing is social proof. People like to see that you're trustworthy. It's easier nowadays to get scammed on the internet than it is to kind of find something reliable, or reliable product or service. At least that's how it feels. So people want to see, what are other people saying? I would place an emphasis on customer testimonials, and always be sure to include images and videos of happy customers where you can. A lot of people can fake text, and people pick up on that pretty quickly. I've seen some landing pages where people would do clearly fake testimonials, and that never goes over well. You're pretty much going to put a bad taste in somebody's mouth if they see that you're kind of faking a good review. So I'm going to step into some examples of landing pages that are really good. The first one here is Webflow. So this is going to kind of give you an idea of what I've been talking about. As far as the value proposition goes, in Webflow, what they do is they make a tool for building web pages. You can build a website. There's no code needed at all. I use them, and it's a great tool. And they really focus on, their value proposition. The site you want without the dev time. So you know that it's a fast service, and they're really clear about what they want you to do, and that's to start building or to get started. As you scroll down, they have images and videos. They have social proof here from different companies and brands showcasing just kind of like the credibility that they do have. You can see the user face right here. So this is another thing that you really want to focus on, is having letting people know what your features are and making it clear what it is that they're going to be getting. If I land on this website, I can see clearly, here's what I can do with Webflow and what they have to offer to me. They go into more features that would be appealing to me as a customer. And they have a review here, a genuine review, and they have a customer story even going more in depth. So you can see, okay, like this is a real person and this is how they solve their problem. Another really good example is Netflix. Most of us use Netflix on our TV or our phone, but their landing page is a really good example of simplicity. Right off the bat, They have their value proposition, and they make it clear what they want you to do, and that's just to get started and to log in. If Netflix had put all of their options as far as shows and everything right there, you get distracted really quickly. You'd be reading synopsises, you'd be looking up reviews of the shows, maybe the cast, but front and center, they keep it focused on, hey, just sign up, get started, and you can start watching right away. And they do show some more information about, enjoying your TV, enjoying your phone, you can download, just giving you an idea of what you can do. But they keep it super, super simple so that you don't get distracted. They even offer an FAQ section, which could be beneficial for you to have on your landing page as well, just to give people more information. If you find that people are asking a lot of questions about your product or service, what you can do is you can just put this on here, just so that you can give them more assurance, like, okay, my questions have been answered. I feel like I can kind of trust these people. I know what I'm getting into a little bit better. Another example is Jarvis. Jarvis is a AI copywriter. I've used them before. What you can do is you can have, you can submit an outline, and they'll basically make a whole paragraph or a whole blog post for you based off that outline just with AI. And they focus on the story, writer's block. They have a video here going into detail. If you've ever written, you understand that it can be frustrating trying to brainstorm when it's all on your own. They have their social proof here. They have big brands just outlining, hey, these are people who back us. They go into some information about who they are, platforms that they support, some features here. And they focus heavily on reviews, a lot of reviews. And this is funneled directly from their Google reviews, what it looks like. And 5 stars, thousands of reviews. And this kind of gets you to be like, oh, wow, like this really works. Like people are using this. They have tons of good things to say. And here they have sign up now, always at the top of the screen, always for you. And right at the bottom, get started today. So those are some examples of landing pages. And what I would do if you weren't already is just kind of like see your web page, your landing page, if you're running one, and see if it kind of like, if it meets these requirements. And if you're missing anything, if you could get with your design or your marketing agency and see if they can put any of this in here and see how that might improve conversion. One tool that I want to share with you that'll be beneficial while you're building your landing page is a website. It's called landingpage.fyi. And I can drop this into the chat for you guys to take a look at. They offer a landing page checklist. And on this checklist, they have a ton of tools for you that you can use. So if you want to get your domain registered, here's some resources for you here. If you want to build the landing page, they offer page builders and just different options for you. So I'll drop this into the chat for you guys to take a look at. It's a great resource. I've used it. And if you're looking to just get a product out there or start a marketing campaign really quick, this will definitely help expedite that process. All right. So that was pretty much it. It was a very high level view. Any questions that you guys have to ask, I would love to answer at this time.
All righty. That was great, Adreno. The chat has been pretty quiet here.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and so like Vercel said, he was having some issues, but I'm not sure if anybody else is having some issues, but I could actually, I did test and I could see it from another window and also on my phone. So is anybody out of notice on viewing the stage? Can you actually just check in on the chat to see if it's actually working? Yes. So yeah, I'm still looking. Yeah, I still only see my chat stuff. So maybe Hopin is having some technical difficulties, but we're broadcasting fine on Facebook, and also I was able to log into Hopin and actually see, but I wasn't sure about the comment. It's really strange. I've never seen this particular issue before. So
interesting. So are people chatting, but it's just not
oh
coming
yeah,
up?
so Monica just checked in, said she's watching and taking notes. So yeah, so that's good. I was getting a
Okay,
little
that's good.
worried, worried there. So some of our founders are are running a Facebook ads and different type of campaigns, but I'm not sure if they're using that landing page strategy, and I'm not sure if they're using those personas either, to kind of target the audience there.
Yeah, it's pretty crucial for marketing. You don't want to waste your advertising dollars. And it would be a shame if you were running ads and somebody saw your ad, it was a good ad, and they clicked on it and they were led to a page that's either confusing, didn't give them enough information, or they just didn't really vibe with it. Um, so having a landing page really helps you kind of um, make the best use of your advertising dollars to where you can really try and keep people to convert and to push them through and keep that momentum going as much as possible.
Yes. Okay. All righty. That's. I'm glad you took this approach with your presentation, because it is one of the things that actually, that, based on your presentation, a lot of times, when somebody's doing a pitch, the judges will ask what your customer acquisition cost is and stuff like that. But if you don't, if you're not marketing to a particular type of persona, and capturing how much you're spending on your ads and capturing, you know the sales you get off that, then it's kind of hard to kind of communicate back to the answer to judges on on what your customer acquisition cost is.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of people just don't think about their customers, even though that's a kind of a key part of it because they're the ones who kind of they purchase your product or service. But it can be easy to forget, and that's why putting it into perspective, really taking some time to focus on them is crucial.
Yes, yes. So if you have any questions, please put them in the stage chat. I see Monica posted in the event chat, and then there's also a question and answer. You can feel free to check in both. So you mentioned Entricon a little bit ago, and I think Erin, she talked a little bit about this. This type of stuff, and she was actually supposed to be on today, and she was going to talk about the sales funnel, and I think your presentation also relates to the sales funnel as well. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When you think about your funnel, you definitely should consider having a landing page be a part of that funnel. I've
Yeah.
done customer journey workshops before, and with a customer journey, it's just going from every single beat, every single action that a customer is going to take interacting with your brand and how they're feeling throughout that stage. So really it's just kind of outlining everything, and it's nothing too complex, it's nothing too crazy, it's just taking the time to really strategize and think about it.
Yes, and so and so it's a really powerful concept, because I think in the audience, when you know Erin was asked, how did she grow her business so well, and because she's a kind of a one person operation, and she knows who her target audience is, and so basically, and so she can create ads to focus on that persona, that
Yeah.
type of person, and what happened. So she was saying, like, she had created a six-figure income from that, but the guy who asked the question, "How did you do it?" and her answer was, she created a sales funnel, and from the ads, to the conversion, and so I think I'm glad your presentation sort of goes along with that idea.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And A lot of it kind of goes back to just staying focused and having a niche, and really knowing that niche in and out and the people that would interact with that niche.
Yeah, and so have you seen cases where like there's maybe two or three different personas, and then you run ads for each persona in order to get that conversion?
Yeah, what you can do is you can do A/B testing with a landing page as well. And there are different kind of ways you can do a landing page. You can make one shorter, following the same principles, or you can make it longer. Um, Still focused, but just like changing up the length. With personas, you can A/B test as well, and it kind of depends on what you're marketing for, and what your business is. But you can think of it as current customers, and aspiring customers. And these
Okay,
could be two different people, depending if you want to pivot your business or not. So you
gotcha.
can outline your current customers, and continue to see how you can kind of like solve them, serve them better, and maybe some things that you might want to change. But you can outline several different ideal customers. Um, One could be like the busy mom, the aspiring freelancer was one of them. It could be um, it could be any kind of person that you're trying to that you feel like would resonate with your business, and you feel like your service will be a help to them.
Yes, yes, okay. Yes, yeah. So I guess what I was thinking about, uh, uh, I was thinking about Troy. He's marketing these like children's books. He's marketing, um, characters, stuffed characters, and he's trying to get his product into um, some preschool type places, and he's trying to sell direct. But like in cases like that, should he set up a landing page for each type customer he's going after? One may be parents, and one may be people that work at daycare centers or whatever.
It really kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve, and who you feel like would resonate with your business more. It's kind of hard for me to tell without having a conversation with them.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you are trying to target parents more, you build a user persona for like a typical parent that you see and start
Hmm.
running ads based on that. And your offer would be something that would resonate with the parents, or the parents would see and be like, oh, that would help me, which would be different from someone who runs a daycare or something of that nature. So
Hmm.
you can build several different personas,
Okay.
and run campaigns and ads based off of that. But that kind of goes back to your offer and the angle you're trying to go at with it, with your service.
So like, so this describe when you say offer, like what you're selling is basically what you're talking about there.
Yeah, whatever you're selling. So, for example, we would have at the marketing agency that I worked at, we'd have an offer for, say, like $1,000 off braces, depending on the practice, whatever they wanted to put in. That's just an example. So we would really base our landing page solely off maybe like um, targeting like mothers, and kids, mothers with kids who are starting to like their kids need braces. It's about that time of year, so we base a landing page really off of that. Or we might switch gears and target young adults who might need Invisalign.
Hmm.
So we outline two different kinds of people, or keep those people in mind, and base everything around them.
Yes. So like, do you actually get involved into like, so you help design, the landing pages and stuff like that, and help, but I guess do you also get in the on the other end on seeing what the analytics looks like from the conversions and stuff like that?
As far as analytics and really like the nitty gritty of advertising, I don't really do that myself.
Okay.
I'll either partner with a freelancer that I know, and we'll work together. What I like to focus on is brand strategy and understanding your users. So
Hmm.
I do a whole workshop which is designed around understanding your brand attributes,
Yeah.
getting like a tagline, a mission statement, and outlining your core user. And that's foundational stuff that I like to work out with the client. And
Hmm.
then all that information kind of informs the design. So the colors that we choose, the imagery, the content that goes on the web page,
So
or just the
yeah,
brand in general.
yeah. So you're saying you start with the before you even start thinking about creating landing pages and stuff like that, you get your brand strategy squared away first.
Yeah, that's always the first step. And a lot of people, when they're starting a business or when you're freelancing, you might think that, oh, I need a website or I need a logo. But you want to circle back and say, okay, who am I? What do I stand for? What's my mission statement? What are my values? Because all of that is going to inform your design, and outlining who my target user is. If your target user is, a 23-year-old girl who's in college,
Hmm.
your brand identity and your design is going to be different from maybe a 52-year-old construction worker. Uh,
Hmm.
it totally changes everything. So I like to go back and do that foundational stuff before I even start designing or creating content.
Okay, so in order to start establishing that brand, you mentioned like mission statement, vision, and stuff like that. So you kind of really get to know what the founders, help them, you know, because you have to understand that before you can actually design something, right?
Yeah, before it gets designed, and really it's called brand discovery,
Okay.
and it's all about discovery. And we just go through different exercises with just the founder or any decision makers. And it's almost like a brand therapy session where we're just talking about you and your business and outlining everything that you are, everything that you want to be, whoever your customers are. Um, it's all kind of that like emotional stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and it's about kind of like making a connection between those two and just getting that all on paper.
It sounds pretty essential, stuff you were talking about. So like you it almost sound like you, as a founder, you can't take this stuff for granted.
No, you can't, and it can be easy because you have as a founder, as an entrepreneur, you have tons and tons of things to worry about, um, and a lot of times people don't talk about just that discovery phase of really getting into that mission, that vision. It can be easy to overlook, but I think that if you do overlook it, it's going to bite you in the long run. A lot of people will, a lot of companies will rebrand because later down the road they realize, oh, we don't have a mission, we don't have a vision, or whatever mission or vision I thought out just isn't really cutting it. It's not really aligning with my customers. It's not aligning with my team. So it's time to rethink these things.
So like when you think about the stages uh, a, a startup goes through, like at that idea stage, then you kind of turn your idea into to a kind of concept. But I think also the key thing with the lean startup methodology, you actually are always engaging with the customer,
Mhm.
potential customer at every step, and so I'm just trying to figure out, you know, and so like so your product is it's just an idea at this stage, and so it's so how soon do you think you should start can you use a landing page to kind of gauge interest in your idea or concept before you actually are selling something?
I think really it depends if you're trying to gauge interest. I think if you can find other ways to maybe engage with your customers before putting money into advertising,
Okay.
um, this could be one project I was working on with a friend of mine. And one of the ways we tried to gauge interest was just through social media, through trying to build like a natural following that way.
Okay.
It can be through interviewing people. You could run a newsletter. But I really wouldn't recommend if you're in the ideation stage, if you don't have a product,
Yeah.
um, service, and if you don't have your brand strategy outlined, I wouldn't necessarily recommend putting money into advertising because those kind of foundational things
Yes.
um, should come way, way before you start marketing yourself.
Yeah. So like so you're I think your services maybe it's when you're getting close to like product launch, like you got your MVP
Yeah.
and you're getting ready to launch. Yeah, and I do think there are some instances where you can, because I've seen based on all the training I've been through is that people, some founders actually created landing pages, just to gauge the market or the need for their product or service before they even actually built it. And I've actually seen that, and but I don't know when I guess it's just a matter of when knowing what's if it's necessary to do something like that. But for me, I think if you're engaging with your potential customers, you have to figure out different ways to engage with them,
Yeah.
and if you know you just have to leverage whatever approach you can in order to kind of keep that engagement so you can know you're building the right thing as a founder.
Yeah, it's always keep close with your customers, because it can be kind of easy to lose sight. I think a lot of people will build or make something because they think it's a good idea, not taking into account what people are actually interested in. So
Hmm.
finding different ways to engage um, is great, and really a lot of it can go down to research. You can look at your competitors as well and see what their customers are saying,
Yes.
and maybe see what they did, and that could be a good way for you to kind of get a lay of the land.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate those insights, and it's definitely making me think. And it's always good, even though you, as a founder, you've actually experienced some of this training before. You can learn what you might have missed, or it can kind of reinforce what you have learned. So what's your approach to engaging with so you're freelancing these services, and so you so I, what's your approach you take when onboarding new customers?
When it comes to onboarding, so what I do on my webpage, the first thing I like to do is set up a discovery call.
Okay.
It's a free 30-minute to an hour long call where we just kind of run through your needs, the
Hmm.
needs of your business, and just kind of go through everything. And I'll just kind of give like a rough estimate as to what my services will cost. But I like to do that because I like to introduce myself. I like to speak with them and just kind of see what they're going through and see if we'll be a good fit.
Yes.
At that point, if we go through the discovery call, and they kind of just at the end of the call they agree like this is a rate that like I'm fine with, like this kind of range.
Hmm.
Um, I go into like the proposal making phase. I present the proposal. Depending on what they say, if they sign the contract, then we'll move forward.
Hmm.
But I always structure things as discovering a strategy. First thing,
Okay.
once we've agreed to work together, then we go into kind of content creation and design based off that brand strategy that we outlined in the beginning. And then once that design is approved, then I go into development and then into launch. But I always focus on discovery strategy and having that communication with the customer and always keeping into account their needs, but their customers' needs as well.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. And so like I think as in our ecosystem here in Northwest Florida and Pensacola, and those folks in the audience, I saw Charles on. He's from over in Texas, and Ron is on from over in St. Louis, Missouri area, and so but your services not you're willing to engage wherever the customers are. I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I don't mind working remote.
Hmm.
I've basically set everything up to where I could work really with
Hmm.
anybody across the
Okay.
country, pending time zones. I do work full time too as well, so it depends on
Yes.
that. But yeah, no matter where you are, reach out and I'd be happy to talk to you and happy to get on a call
Yes.
with you.
Yeah, and I apologize for some reason. I don't see the normal level of engagement from the audience. I'm not
Well,
sure
that's
if there's
okay.
a technical, because typically somebody will ask the question, you know, um, you know, uh, would have some questions, and so I've never seen it like this before. But I do know Hopin this week with the Amazon outage, they did have some issues, and but I'm just I'm not sure what's actually going on now. But at least we're capturing your presentation, and we'll definitely folks will be able to see the video and everything. But are you willing to share your presentation so I can send it to the audience or whatever?
Yeah, I'll share that to you. Does a PDF work for you?
Okay, good. Yeah, PDF is
Okay.
fine, and I'll include a link, in the email that I sent out, and plus I have, so folks who can actually take advantage of that. I think just in general from my standpoint, the more resources that we are aware of in our ecosystem here, the better off we are, and so like you have the expertise in this area, and somebody so it's just nice to know the talent that's actually we have in the area, because as a founder you can't move forward if you don't know who's got the talent you need to kind of grow your startup.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And so as we close out here, I apologize if you're having any technical trying to get your questions in, but you have Adorno's contact information, and feel free to reach out. So for those who are participating in the pitch competition next week, I'll be having some office hours on Saturday from 1 to 3. I'll be glad to answer any questions, and so help folks get prepared. I'm really excited about next week. I guess we don't have any branding on this particular backstage, so next week we're going to start using the StreamYard backstage, and we were able to have our branding on there and everything. So we're excited about that switch, and so we can kind of move forward in a more professional manner. But thanks everybody for coming in, and like I said, I apologize if you had any issues getting your questions asked, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, Eduardo. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you.
Happy holidays.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.